right, steel again. I'm going to go ahead and show you in the circuit room this time, but I'm going to go a different way there. I'm going to walk you through the chill zone and the core zone, and I'm going to show you leg machines. So go ahead and follow me over to the left. You can get there two ways. So over here to the left, watch your step as you walk in, and so this is the chill zone. You've already seen this in the previous videos, but this gives you a different angle, a different look at some of the hot massage machines, which you do get for the first couple of weeks for free with your membership to try it out. This is also the core zone that you've seen in a previous video, so it gives you another angle of what it looks like. Make sure you start to talk to a trainer or talk to the manager about, what do you recommend? How do you recommend we do this exercise? They can always help you and show you at least a couple of exercises to get you started working your core. But come on back, I'll show you the leg machines. As you walk through here into the circuit training area, this is the leg extension machine. This works your legs, and right next to it is the seated leg curl machine. And I'm going to show you these two machines today, and I'm going to show you the leg press machine, which is over there to the very corner, right by the back door, that you can also come in with your key card. Make sure that every person swipes their key card when they do come in for your own safety. So let me go ahead and show you this one. As I said before, every single machine has an adjustment using where you see the yellow knobs. You got yellow, and that is your cam for your joint. I'll explain that in a minute. But if you want to change the seat and you want to figure out exactly where you need to sit, you go ahead and you sit on the machine, and when you sit on the machine, you take a look and see where that yellow is going through your knee. And if it goes through approximately where the joint is, where the center of the joint is, then you're sitting in about the right place for the positioning of the back. But let's just say, for example, that I need to adjust it ever so slightly. What you would do in this particular case is you would get off, and let's say I want to adjust it, is you would add a little bit of weight to your elbow. You would go ahead and you would pull this out ever so slightly. It's very easy to pull out. As you can see, it's a single pull, and it has a spring on it, so you can adjust it accordingly. You don't have to use too much strength. You pull it out and just adjust it accordingly. It's a very easy adjustment, and it's as simple as that. So just make sure that you're just adding a little bit of stress on it with your arm and adjust accordingly. Then you come on up here and sit down, make sure you're lined up. And as you can see from here, there's another yellow button, and this yellow button will bring the foot pad down onto your shins. So let's just say it's a little bit too far forward for me right now. I want to adjust that. I'm going to go ahead and put my feet up against it to release some of the tension, and I'm going to adjust it. Find that right about in the right spot, right about there for me personally, and you're going to have a different feeling of comfortable. And this is adjustable with your feet. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adjust this to about the lightest weight I can, just to get a better feel of the machine. Go ahead and place my hands here, sit, and from there I can do leg extensions. And this is what a leg extension looks like. Pretty simple to do. I would do 20 reps, get comfortable with it, and when you're done, you want to get out. Easiest way to get out would be to add a little bit of tension onto where my feet are, where my toes are, and I would pull it and adjust it accordingly. So now I'm free to get out. And at the same time, I'm always keeping my hands on the machine, so I'm staying stable. Let's take a look at the seated curl machine. This is the hamstring machine. This is probably one of, if not the most difficult machine to use. So if you can use this one, you can use every other machine in here. This machine has a number of different ways that you can change the depth and the height. I recommend just a few changes. First of all, I would change the weight to about the lightest weight you can. I would then use the same technique I did on the leg machine. Just put your elbow, rest up against it, pull it out, adjust the seat accordingly. I would sit down from here. I would make sure that my knees are lined up with the yellow cam. In this case, I put the seat too far back, so I would get out. I would adjust the seat slightly further forward by just pulling it out, releasing tension, keeping my elbow, putting it back in. Then I would go ahead and I would sit down. When I sit down on this, the most important thing for me is to get my feet up. Once I get my feet up, I would go ahead and you're going to have to drop this onto your leg so that you can pull this down where your heels come towards your butt. So the way that you do that is you lift your knees up, you add a little bit of weight tension to the bottom of the knee pad, and then you push your thumb in and you bring it down. So if you don't add that tension with your knee, it's really hard to push. But if you add just a couple of pounds of tension, it just comes right down. From there, I would go ahead and just hold it right there. Now you do have two other adjustments, one right here and one right here. You don't have to play with that the first time, but once you get comfortable with the machine, you'll feel, oh, okay, now this feels good, but I feel like I want to maybe make the leg go out a little bit further, so I would adjust it right there. Or I feel like I want to adjust the cam, and at this point right now I cannot because I'm too tight in there, so I would have to adjust this out and then adjust this accordingly by moving this down, and then add a little bit of weight on this. So there's a lot of moving parts here, but in the beginning I would just get to know the machine, play around with what's most comfortable, do about 20 reps. In this case right here, you would do 20 reps there, 20 reps here, 20 reps there, 20 reps there. You would play around with the machine until it felt comfortable to you. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here by adding some tension, and I'm going to show you what the leg press looks like. The leg press is over here in the corner. The leg press is this machine right here, and it's right by the back door. So this is the back door as well. You can go ahead and you can park out there. Use your key card. Make sure everyone swipes their key card, please. It's important to us for our safety and our security. So in this machine, it's pretty simple. There's a yellow button right there, a yellow knob. The way that you're going to adjust that is you're going to have to get in to release some of the tension to do that. So I would get into the machine, and I would feel where the machine is. It feels like it's a little close for me in this particular case. So I would push the yellow button. I would add a little bit of tension in my heels to release the tension on the button, and that would adjust, and I would adjust accordingly. So I would add a little tension right there. Put my feet up. If I find that now I'm too far away, I can go ahead and add some more tension to my heels, and I can release it down to where I'm comfortable. Then I would go ahead and adjust the weight, which I should have done before, to the lightest weight, and go ahead and from there push my body up. Do maybe 20 reps of these to where I'm most comfortable, and that'll give you a good idea of how the machine feels. You can always, at this point, you can adjust accordingly. You can play with this yellow button and see how it feels to release it, to let the seat go higher up, to let the seat go further down. But it all comes down to keeping a little bit of stress on your heels, a little bit of weight on your heels, so that you can release the tension on the button and you can adjust where the seat is. And those are the three leg machines that I would start with. While you're doing that, I would make sure that you observe how other members are using other machines so that you can play around and you can also learn from other people and see what they're doing. Hopefully that makes a lot of sense to you, and there's going to be another series right after this.